Yo, what's going on, guys? So, today I'm about to talk about Roddy Ricch and the weird, mysterious things that happened with how he blew up in his career and even with his new song, The Box. So, first, I found out about Roddy Ricch through his first hit called Die Young, which was a tribute to X. And before that, he wasn't famous at all, so everybody found out about him through this song. And he said he recorded Die Young on the night of June 18th because he was thinking about X and Lil Snoop. And so the video starts off with him at a cemetery, and then he says, I ain't trying to die young, so I gotta ride with one. And he's wearing the same Louis V bag that X wore the day he died. And he's saying, I ain't trying to die young, so I gotta ride with one. X wasn't riding with one that day, and nobody he was with was riding with one that day. And then he says, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. So that means he'd rather be judged by a jury of 12 in court rather than being carried in a casket by 6 pallbearers. So basically, he'd rather be in jail than to die. And the weird thing I found out about those numbers is that 6 is the month that X died, which is June. And then 6 plus 12 equals 18, like June 18th. And then the 18 is also for 2018, the day that X died. So that was a weird connection. And then he breaks down his bar about DeRozan and on Genius, and he says that he always does double meanings with his bars. So everything that I say in this video, I'm not reaching or anything. Like he thinks this deeply to with his music and stuff. So then he says, I hopped off the porch, then I hopped inside the Porsche. And X mentions a Porsche in his song Mannequin with Wi-Fi's funeral, and he's sitting on a Porsche at the start of the Sauce music video. And then Roddy Ricch says, "We was fighting Fed cases. I was 2-0." So Roddy Ricch was 20 when he made this song, and he's talking about 2 wins and 0 losses against the Feds. But X was also 20, so he was 20 and X was 20. And then he says, gotta keep it on me, I don't want to die young. And in the music video, you see him FaceTiming Nipsey. And then afterwards, in the song, he says, tell me why the legends gotta die quick. And then Nipsey literally died like 9 months later. So that one was the weirdest coincidence. Like, Nipsey just so happened to be in the video called Die Young, and then he dies young after. Like, that's crazy. And then Roddy also has a song with Nipsey called Racks in the Middle. And in the music video, there's a scene where he's at a cemetery and Nipsey says, how you died 30 something after banging all them years. And he's talking about his friend or his family member or something. And then Nip ended up dying at 30 something after banging all them years, just like how he said. Literally a month later after that video dropped. So that's that. And then in the Die Young song, a lot of weird things also happened with other people surrounding it. So a big portion of Roddy Ricch's fans are from UK, and Die Young was getting a lot of support from the United Kingdom and rappers in the United Kingdom. And there's this rapper called Splash Addict or SA, and his last post on Snapchat was him listening to Die Young, and then he got stabbed days later. And then a couple days after that, another rapper called Incognito from the UK, his last post was him listening to Die Young, and then he got shot that night. And then another UK rapper called Cadet was in a taxi listening to Die Young, and he died in a car crash. So that's crazy. 3 rappers that died the night they listened to that song, and they were all young too. And then so all these things, I'm just bringing it up. Like, I'm not saying that Roddy Ricch is um in charge of why all this shit happened and shit, but I just find it weird how all of this happened surrounding his music or his name and stuff. So another thing was Roddy said his biggest influence musically is Speaker Knockers. and Speaker Knockers is dead. I recommend you guys go listen to his music. He's actually pretty good, and he's actually the reason why all these melodic rappers are blowing up right now. He was like the first one. And then I was watching the box, and that's what really made me want to make this video, because there's a lot more connections to dead people in that video. So first thing I noticed is the length of the music video is 3 minutes and 33 seconds. And then it starts off with Roddy Ricch in fast car racing another guy in a fast car, and it looks so much like Fast and Furious, and that reminded me of Paul Walker, because Paul Walker was in Fast and Furious and he died in a fast car like that. And then in the video, the guy's racing and he dies in a car crash. So that just screams Paul Walker. And another thing is that other UK rapper, what was his name? Cadet. He died listening to Roddy Ricch in a car crash. And in the music video, a guy dies in a car crash. And also, Roddy Ricch Roddy Ricch put that in his video because he said before that he crashed his mom's car before. So then he says, I just hit a lick with the box. And that was a dope, like, double meaning, because a car is a box. So he's saying, like, he hit a lick with the car. And then he says how to put a stick in a box. So he's talking about, like, the strap. But it could also be, like, a stick shift car. And it could be something else, too, that's nasty and I can't say on YouTube. But if you know, you know. And then he says, pour up the whole seal, I'ma get lazy. That reminded me of Fredo Santana, because Fredo Santana died from pouring up too much lean. And then he says, she sucked my soul. When he said that, a lot of people don't really know what he means by that. But what he means is like, alright, because when you're getting head and you nut, you're losing energy. A lot of people don't know this, but every time you nut, you lose energy. And the girl receives that energy. That's why every time after you nut, you feel like going to sleep or something. But guys feel like that. And girls, they have more energy afterwards. And then he says, got a Cash App. And the app itself is a box. And then the phone is a box. So I just thought that was funny. And then he says, told him wipe their nose and say slat slat. So slat means slime love all the time, and it's something that a lot of Bloods say. And that reminded me of like labels and stuff. I feel like the whole subliminal message behind this song and the video is about how labels try to persuade their artists to do something. And right here he says labels, he says told them wipe their nose. So that made me think, like, who's telling them to say that. And then also slat is a popular word right now, so labels would recommend their artists use that. And there's a lot of fake quote unquote Bloods out here rapping and stuff, so it makes perfect sense. And then after that, the music video switches to a basketball court and he's playing basketball. And who in recent memory died relating to basketball? Kobe Bryant. So that's already a bunch of dead people. And then he says, got a girl looking like Aaliyah, she a model. And Aaliyah also died. I believe in I don't remember how she died. I think it was like a plane crash or something. I don't know. And then he says, pour the whole damn seal. And in the music video, he's in a pool of lean with sharks. And if you guys don't remember, in my Pop Smoke video, his last post of him was in a pool. So there's a pool reference. And he drank a lot of lean. And then also Fredo drank a lot of lean, so that reminded me of him, and he died from it. And then Juice WRLD also drank a lot of lean, and he died from drugs too. And then he says, I won't never sell my soul. And then the camera goes into like a fire window. And then he says, the private I'm flying in, I never want to fly again. So that's clearly a Kobe and Juice WRLD reference, because Kobe died from flying private, and then Juice, same thing. and also Aaliyah too. And then he says, "I'll take my chances in traffic," and the cars crash in the music video while he's saying that. And then he says, and also that doesn't make sense. How are you gonna say, "I'm not gonna fly because I wanna take my chances in traffic," and then the cars crash immediately after? So that has to be some kind of message. And then he says, "I done put 100 bands on Zimmerman." So if you guys don't know, Zimmerman he was a cop that killed Trayvon Martin. And even Jay-Z mentioned him in a song with Drake. He says, "Y'all killed X and let Zimmerman live. Streets is done." So that was his bar on Drake's song called Talk It Up, which I found weird how it was dropped in June, the same month that X died. And then he says, F12 and SWAT because Zimmerman was a cop. And then in the music video, he's in a factory with boxes. So subliminally, I think he's saying that he's just a product for the industry, and the industry just sees him as another box. And then at the end, it proves my point even further because he's in a box at a museum, and you just see some white people looking at him like if he's just a product. And also another thing is, if you guys remember the New Year's video I made, I was talking about how anything that stays in a box, the energy stagnates inside it and it dies. So that's why when you die, they put you in a box. And it goes deeper than that, but I just wanted to make this video quick. And last thing I noticed relating to Gematria is Roderick, which is Roddy Ricch's real name, equals 111. And then his full name, Roderick Wayne Moore Jr., equals 111. And then xanchez equals 111, which is X's real name. And then Roderick Moore, and also, by the way, his last name is Moore, like the Moors. If you know, you know. And go look that up if you don't know. And then Roderick Moore equals 72, and XXX equals 72. And the reason why I looked up XXX instead of the full name is because even on the SoundCloud post of Die Young, he, in the hashtag of SoundCloud, in the post, like the song, he put hashtag RIPXXX. So that was weird. And then, yeah, that's pretty much everything I found. Oh, also, Roderick Wayne Moore equals 240 and 111, and xanchez equals 24 and 111. So that's crazy. But yeah, let me know if you guys found anything else weird relating to Roddy Ricch and X, or just Roddy Ricch in general. Like, subscribe, comment your thoughts. Follow me on Instagram. Peace.